If you follow that degree and you study successful, do not have to worry about. And if you're eligible, we invite you to take this brief online test.
What is the process to apply for this particular program?
They're collaborating with over 30 hospitals, major hospitals in Vietnam, and they say they have the problem, they buy the machines.
Alright guys, so welcome back once again. If you're somebody new to my channel, my name is Nikhilesh. I live in Berlin. I'm sitting here with Dr. Martin today, introducing you a very, very interesting program, something which I've never heard. I've filmed so many universities, like especially public universities. I've gone around almost 400 universities. This is one of a kind video we are filming. Today we will be talking about a program which is in collaboration with a private university and a public university in Germany.
Correct.
Before we dive deep into that, why don't you give your introduction, please?
Well, hi Nick, it's nice to have you here. Welcome everyone, I'm Martin Förster, Director of Business Development and Quality here at Steinbeis University Schools of Next Practices. Mm-hmm. That means that I basically am in charge of developing the programs. Always like to call myself the man in the machine room, coming up with the ideas and also developing new cooperation formats with other partners in Germany, but worldwide to develop exciting new formats of higher education.
Got it. Just to put it simply, what is a master's called exactly? Master's?
We're talking about a Master of Science in AI and Engineering for medical applications.
I want to talk, what does it all mean to a student now, right? My question number one is, who is this course designed for? If there are people who are watching and they're studying bachelor's or they are graduated and now they're thinking to pivot themselves into AI or in engineering or a course like what you just described, what kind of bachelor's are you accepting?
We're looking at people who are, for one point, engineering oriented. So most importantly, electrical engineering. That's the core technology, electrical engineering and information technology. Mm-hmm. And then attached to that, related fields. So a computer scientist might be interested because of the AI component, who says, yeah, computer engineering, that's very closely to that. Also, we have a lot of physicians working in the field who studied physics as a bachelor degree.
So it's electrical engineers, computer science graduates, physics
might be. We are looking at different levels when it comes to eligibility to the program.
As far as my knowledge about the program is, it's a 2-year program.
That's right.
Which is 120 ECTS. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
This is happening in collaboration, I already told you in the beginning, with Steinbeis University Schools of Next Practices and with OVGU Magdeburg, which is in Magdeburg. Do I study here in Berlin or do I study in Magdeburg?
You study in Magdeburg, which is quite close to Berlin, actually, if you go there by public transport. OVGU in Magdeburg is a special place for medical technology. They have all the research facilities there. They have all the machines there. They work, for example, in close collaboration with Siemens Healthineers, so one of the world-leading companies in medical technology. They have the equipment we do not have here in Berlin. That's why we said, okay, no, we place that in Magdeburg, a great place to study, where the people can really learn on the job, so to speak, because medical technology is something you have to work with. You don't study that in theory.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I also saw in the brochure that it's a paid program. Even though I'm going to study in a public university, ideally it's a free course available, but like I have to pay for. Is there a tuition fees around this?
There is a tuition fee. That is correct. The regular 2-year program is comes at a price of all-inclusive 4 semesters, 23,800 euro. Mm-hmm. That is a significant amount of money, especially if you compare that to German traditional public universities with no fees applied. I am aware of that, but it is a very special field. So if you compare that to programs available around the world, there are not too many. Mm-hmm. So for example, if you look at other institutes in the US for example, in Denmark, there's quite a good program in Copenhagen where you are charged cost roughly $40,000 a year. So with that, charging €23,800 is an acceptable price, we hope, because this is really an investment that pays off. It is such a dynamic, growing market with very attractive salaries for graduates from this program.
Since you spoke about jobs, can you help me understand like maybe 2 or 3 potential outcomes I may have as a job that once I graduate, hey, you could be working in blah, 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 like that?
There are, most importantly, hospitals. That's the logical first place where graduates from these programs will be applied, where will be employed. Sorry, because more and more hospitals have this problem that medical technology has become extremely complex over the years, with the machines doing the job. So it's often you have the doctors that diagnose, but it's the machines doing the job. It's the machines doing the operations and delivering the imaging. For example, imaging technology is very, very important when it comes to diagnosing what a patient has without opening the body. So you have tremendous opportunities there, but these are things a doctor cannot do, but a medical engineer can do.
Yeah. Just to do a quick recap for everybody, we spoke about what kind of bachelors are accepted, the potential jobs they may have. There are people out there with the mindset of, hey, I don't want to go and study in a tier 2 town in Germany. I would rather want to study in Berlin, for example, but you're asking in this case to go and study in Magdeburg. What is your take on that? Because not many people are aware of Magdeburg as a place to study.
Yes, it's true, but Magdeburg is not a small city. It's the capital of the federal state of Sachsen-Anhalt. Germany is divided into 16 federal states, and Magdeburg is the capital of one of them. So it's not a small city, although probably not on the map for someone applying from India or other parts of the world. But nevertheless, we're talking about a distance of 1 hour, 15 minutes drive in a public train from Berlin. So you could even live in Berlin if you wanted to and study in Magdeburg without any problem. I know of many countries where they laugh at a distance of 1 hour, 15 minutes in train. They say that what I commute every morning within the city I live and work. So that's probably not the issue. Germany is a small country with a good infrastructure, so you can get anywhere really quick.
Okay. What is the process to apply for this particular program?
So if you want to apply, you can do that directly through our website or any other agency or contract partner of our university. You will reach out to us. You most importantly then upload your documents, which is your bachelor graduate certificate. You need to prove your English language skill, IELTS 6.0, for example. You need to have an average grade, and now it becomes a little bit tricky, 2.0 until 2.5 in the German grading spectrum. There are calculation automates in the internet. If you look for the Bavarian formula, that's what it's called. There's one huge from Technical University Munich, where you just enter your grade from your grading system, and it tells you what the German equivalent grade would be. So that should be 2.5 minimum. All this you upload, a CV, a copy of your passport. That's basically it. Now that's one important point I did not mention before. You need to prove a total of at least 1 year work experience when applying for the degree program.
So 1 year mandatory work experience?
Yes, but that does not have to be 1 year like in one period. So it can be accumulated through internships or other minor forms of university project work as well, where you can combine that. The minimum requirement is 1 year, so all together should accumulate to 12 months, and you will have to document that in the documentation you upload. And then we check that. Once you upload everything, we check your eligibility, and we will get back to you, usually within 48 hours, letting you know if you are eligible or if there are any documents missing that we require from you. If everything is fine, we will send you an offer letter, which you can accept. And if you accept it, you would have to pay a deposit of €1,500. That's actually the kickoff point for everything, because once we receive that deposit, we know you're serious about it. You want to go the way with us. We will then send you a study contract that guarantees you a place in the program. And if you sign that, you also get the letter of acceptance, which is relevant because without that document, you cannot apply for a study visa in Germany. Visa for Germany are some sometimes a lengthy process. So this will require a few months' time to get everything in order. So we really want to be quick about that, usually replying with our documents within 48 hours. And then if everything goes well, if you get the visa in time and everything is good, then you can start in Magdeburg in October 2025 for the winter semester. What is important to outline also is if for any reason you do not get the visa in time, or maybe you just get it in December or whatever, that we constructed the program in a way that you can actually even take the first semester at home online, so you will not miss anything and you won't have to wait for another year until you can start. But you can in any case start in October, even though you might only arrive in Magdeburg on campus in spring 2026 then. I think that's also a very flexible opportunity because we do not want to lose the best candidates, of course.
Yeah, just talking from the student point of view, one of the biggest worry people have today when they're investing money, especially to study, what if I don't get a job? What happens?
If you follow that degree and you study successful, do not have to worry about. I'm usually more maybe the defensive or conservative guy when it comes to promising anything. But if you graduate in this Master of Science, AI and Engineering for Medical Applications, you will get a job. You will actually be able to choose the job. And you can choose that in Germany. You can choose that anywhere in the world because these guys are really sought for.
Okay, because I think it's up to you as well. What is your preparation levels?
Of course.
Right. And I think like it's a well-calculated risk if you're going with an education loan in case if you're taking this huge leap of faith to like invest money into this program. There's always this in people's back of their mind that what if I don't get a job? Do I have to come back? Because Germany gives you 18 months of job search visa as well. And is there any language requirement to get into that?
Good that you asked. No, it's not. Well, it is English. So the program is in English. It's not in German. You don't have to speak German to graduate successfully. We will, of course, provide everyone studying that with the opportunity to take free German language classes in Magdeburg. So that is optional. That is our offer. And of course, it makes sense if you want to stay in Germany, work in Germany, to learn the language a little bit just for your social life. But it's not a requirement for the degree program. So you can perfectly graduate in English. You can, if you graduate successfully, stay up to 18 months after graduation, look for a job. And if you find a job, you can stay here indefinitely if you want to.
Right. I was also told, I'm not sure if it's right, is there any entrance exam for this program?
Important point, there is. I did miss that before.
Yes.
No, there is an entry exam. I mentioned the degree programs, bachelor degree programs that we accept and the competencies needed. And we verify that through an online entry exam. So if you apply, we check if you're eligible. And if you're eligible, we invite you to take this brief online test. So we're looking at a 1 to 2 hour online test where you get the results more or less immediately. And this test covers basics from mathematics, from electrical engineering, a little bit of physics, a little bit of programming or computer science, and a little bit of research.
I think from a city point, Magdeburg is really, I mean, I've been there last year 24 times.
24?
For filming video. And I know, like, I've seen a lot of, like, the area around Magdeburg is developing exponentially. There's also a huge Intel factory, which is there. I don't know if still there.
It's in the making.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was told that yes, in fact, a lot of people who go directly to study Magdeburg, they have spoken highly about the cost of living is really low in that city. And I know a lot of people who study in Berlin, they stay in Magdeburg. It's a bit surprising for me, but like I was there and they're like, yeah, why do we spend so much money in Berlin that we can stay here, we can also do part-time job and make their livings, so make their ends meet. So I think overall, it's a great deal. If you have any question, of course, you can reach out to the university directly. I've put all the important links in the description of this video. If you've made it till here, hit that like button. And thank you so much for joining. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.